You're about to see exactly how I turned 3 struggling sales teams into record-setting machines and how you can do the same step by step. No fluff, no luck, just real practical leadership principles that you could use to boost revenue, boost performance, and boost overall satisfaction of your sales team. Principle 1, they are there for themselves. When a salesperson joins a company, they're there because they think it's going to make their life better. And the moment that they stop believing that, they start looking at other opportunities. And most managers screw this up because they're so focused on company goals and team goals and the company's mission. But really what the sales reps care about, and the only mission that they're really focused on, is that commission check.
Another one.
When managers focus too much on the company goals, it can start making the team feel like the manager and the team doesn't even care about them. They just care about the company goals, right? But on the flip side, if you actually meet with every sales rep one-on-one, conference room now, figure out their goals, their income goals, their schedule goals, their lifestyle goals, not only will they be way more motivated, way more inspired, and feel like you actually care about them, but as they're hitting their goals, it almost always means the team is doing better as a whole too. For example, when I'm managing a team of closers and the commission's 10%, and one of the closers, when I meet one-on-one with them, says they want to make 10K a month, I will create a game plan of exactly what they need to do to hit that. This gets them excited. This makes them motivated and go the extra mile, right? And when they make $100,000 in revenue so they can make 10K a month, that's $100,000 extra for the team's goals too. So basically, what I do and best managers I've seen do that a lot of managers drop the ball on is, rather than focusing on the team goals and the team's requirements, they actually meet one-on-one with each rep. And not only does it make the reps like you more, trust you more, but it makes them go to new heights and new depths for the team and just perform at a whole nother level. Principle number 2, simple scales and complex fails. The majority of you watching this have heard guys like Alex Hormozi, Dan Martell, and Elon Musk say this exact statement: simple scales, complex fails. And a huge reason for this that totally applies to sales is that confusion kills focus.
No, God, please, no, no!
When reps are unsure on what success looks like and what they're supposed to be doing, they're going to spend tons of time worrying, stressing, and far less time producing and succeeding. So to replace this confusion with confidence and clarity, anytime I start to manage a new team, I like to make an onboarding doc with basically everything they need to do their job as simple as possible in one place, including clear scripts, checklists, and daily actions as well. And in the long run, this actually saves tons of time because you can just spend an hour or two building out this onboarding sheet that will prevent 90 to 95% of the questions. And if it's built properly, these sales reps can come in and start producing, bringing in revenue within 24 hours. And a bonus that I like to do whenever possible is to make a 2-minute video just explaining how to access everything in the onboarding doc. And I just say, start here. So they watch the video, they know how to get everything they need out of the doc, right? And this just destroys confusion and decision fatigue, which, believe it or not, is mentally exhausting. And once again, destroys focus, which means lowering productivity and success. And I actually have many friends that are entrepreneurs, and one of them told me that they had 4 hires that all of them quit except one of them got fired back to back, 4 in a row, right? And I just asked him, I was like, what's your onboarding process? Right? He didn't have a script and he didn't have an onboarding form, right? So I literally just advised him to do that. And then next thing you know, his next 2 sales reps not only stuck around, but they both started producing within 24 hours of him having this onboarding form set up just how we explained. So in conclusion, when you have simple and clear directions on what your team's supposed to be doing, it destroys stress, supercharges confidence, and ultimately just leads to way better performance and way better satisfaction from your team. Next up, principle number 3, reinforce successful behaviors. Probably my favorite way to do this one is I like to start every single huddle with wins. This not only energizes the entire team, spotlights and brings focus to exactly what's working, but it also encourages everyone to succeed more because they see others succeeding and know that it's simple and they can do the same things as well. But to take this to an elite level, don't just celebrate results, celebrate inputs as well. Most managers only really celebrate cash collected, deals closed, and that sort of thing. But I'm gonna have Alex Hormozi and Chris Bumstead talk about how important it is to focus on inputs even more than results.
There's so many of the people who are like win twice or three or four, anything more than one, everything in their mind starts to just be, well, now I have to win. And then that stress and pressure takes away from their ability to perform. And then they're chasing the actual goal before the process. So they're like, fuck working hard, I just have to win. It's like, well, no, you just have to work hard.
And then winning occurs.
Will ensue. You don't pursue winning, it will ensue.
It's making the inputs the goal, not the outputs. There we go. Finally, after our whole discussion, it's if you make the inputs the goal, the outputs occur. If you make the outputs the goal, you change what the inputs are. They got you the output in the first place.
When you only celebrate results, cash collected, and that sort of thing, then it promotes the perspective to only focus on the work as a means to an end, which can just suck the enjoyment and the happiness out of the process. However, if you focus on celebrating the inputs, it makes the work and the process way more enjoyable. And when people actually enjoy the process, they'll work harder and ultimately get better results as well. And to do this, we highlight calls made, texts, follow-ups as well. And we celebrate controllable actions and the inputs that ultimately create the results. And like Alex Hormozi says, when you make inputs the goal, the outputs occur. When reps are focused on inputs, the outputs multiply, deals closed, cash collected, all of that good stuff. And in order to do this, you need to track the most important stats that create the results. And so many of the greats repeat this famous Peter Drucker quote, which goes, "What gets measured gets managed." Tracking the right stats takes the guesswork out of getting results. And when you track and celebrate the most important inputs, suddenly everyone is super clear, certain, and confident on what they need to do to create the results and the success. Next up, we have principle number 4, transparency. Show everyone the scoreboard. I like to show the entire team what's going on. Every lead, every booking, every deal, every new hire, right? Transparency builds trust. It builds teamwork. It builds momentum. It helps everything flow. Reps get to see that the company is moving forward, and nobody wants to be the guy with a 0 next to their name at the end of the day.
I took it very personally.
And transparency also rapidly helps you see and solve problems even faster, and also see what's working so you can scale what's working even faster as well.
Hey, it's working.
And finally, clarity leads to confidence, and confidence improves performance. And this next one connects very well with our next principle, which is principle number 5. Policies create flow. And the word policy used to annoy me back when I was new to sales, but the truth is the biggest companies on the planet are well aware of the power of policies, and policies prevent chaos. In fact, a bad policy is usually better than no policy because it keeps things moving. For example, on our outbound team to book candidates for our recruiting company, there were 2 outbound lead generation DM setters that claimed they booked the same lead, and both of them contacted the lead. However, our policy is that if someone could show they were responsible for the lead of actually booking it and going over the finish line to make the booking, then they get full credit. But if neither of them can prove who was the one to get them to take that last step to book the appointment, then the commission gets split down the middle. And one of the people was quickly able to prove that they got him over the finish line, right? And then less than a minute and we're already back to work, back to business, right?
Now get back to work.
when I've seen so many times at other companies where people were not sure if they should get credit or who should get the commission or what to do in the situation. And then they argue, they complain, and they're just taking time away from being productive. And if chaos really gets out of control, they can even impact the performance of other people on the team too. So if you have a policy in place, it can prevent so much chaos, help speed up the time that people can resolve problems and just get right back into work. And you can always change policies later too, right? Every once in a while, we'll have a policy and then some new situation we didn't think about came up, right? And then we're like, maybe this policy isn't the best in this circumstance. We either adjust or rewrite the policy, right? And next up, we have principle number 6, which is to sell the sales team. Every seasoned sales rep knows that confidence closes. If sales reps lose confidence in the offer, the results that it gets their clients, in the company, or even their position, their performance will crash. So this is very much in alignment with sharing wins, but this goes into sharing the wins of your clients as well, right? You want your whole sales team to feel like anyone who buys whatever they're selling, their life is just going to get incredibly better, right? And also sharing wins on the team and all the other things, the inputs, gives them confidence that as long as they do these things, it'll hit their goals. And when every time they sell to someone, they're going to put their life in a better position. And when your sales team has that level of confidence, because you're literally selling them this company, the results you're getting with your offer and all these things are absolutely great. It just supercharges their performance. And once again, also charges up their satisfaction in their position as well. And now principle number 7, talent stacking. You see, every great business has at least 2 funnels, one to get clients and one to get talent for their team. Alex Ramosi says an A player produces 5 times better results than a B player in many positions, and sales is not an exception. So if an A player is in the top 10%, that means you're saying no to hiring 90% of the people that are interested and qualified in your position. And look, over here at Aura, we are a remote sales recruitment company, right? And we reach out to over 10,000 people a month just to interview a couple or a few hundred on our end, just to make on average 2 to 3 introductions per company that we recruit for per week. And yeah, you can build an outbound team, you can create organic funnels, you can run paid ads, you can create referral partnerships for talent. You can do all these things, or if you want to access the top talent in remote sales, have them pre-qualified and handed to you with no upfront costs. You literally don't pay anything unless you find the fit that you're looking for. And we even guarantee that they'll perform. Otherwise, we'll replace them within 30 days, which most of the time we nail it the first try. In fact, over half of our placements have generated over a 10x ROI within their first 30 days. And also the amount of candidates that we get goes up almost every single month, and we're launching tons of stuff in 2026 to try to 10x our candidate flow as well. And basically, if you have someone closing at twice the rate of someone else, you do the math for how much money that is for your team and your offer. But whether you work with us or not, your sales team is a team. So the people on the team and the caliber of how good they are and how good they are to work with just makes a huge difference. So there you have it. These 7 principles that allowed me to turn 3 struggling sales teams into record-setting machines. By the way, I've coached over 200 remote sales reps, and I'm giving away all of the best things that I used to teach for free here on YouTube. And if you got some value out of this, please let me know in the comments. I read all of them myself, and it also helps this reach more people as well. And if you're looking to access top tier reps, there's a link for that in the description as well. So with that, use these principles to take your team to new heights and just make the whole process way more fun. With that, let's run it up.